I'm Gina Barrett, Director of Partnerships with the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm here with Allison Bell, Regional Vice President for Western Governors University. Allison, thank you for being with us today.
Gina, thank you for having me.
We're really excited to hear all the information that you have to share. Could you tell us a little bit about what is Western Governors University?
I'd be happy to. So WGU, if it's easier, you can just say WGU now that we've got the whole name out there. WGU is an online not-for-profit university. So it's nationwide, but we also have local teams. So we're locally present, locally, relevant, but national reach. So what makes WGU special or different, there's lots of online options out there, but it's our flexibility and our student-centric model. So we are a competency-based university. What we do is we measure what the student knows. And as soon as they can demonstrate that they have a competency that's required for the course, they earn the credit and they move on to the next course. And because of that, people are able to move at their own pace. That means they can slow it down. If there's a topic that's particularly hard, like for me, I'd need to take more time with math. Whereas if you get me into some sort of a social studies class, I'm going to zip through that. So it makes sense for actually, I think it makes sense for most learners, so that they can take their time. Also, we just charge a flat rate. So if someone is able to accelerate and do more, earn more credits, they don't pay more. So that's a little bit about us. I'll say we have 4 colleges. So Teachers College, College of Business. We also have a School of Health, so nursing and other degrees in the School of Health, and then an IT college.
So what are the programs that WGU provides?
So in those 4 colleges, we have more than 60 degree programs, some bachelor's, some master's. We also have currently two certificate programs, one in IT web development and one in it's a leadership certificate in business. We're launching more pretty rapidly. So, you can become a nurse. You can, in our Leavitt School of Health, you can in IT, there are programs like cybersecurity, computer science, cloud computing. You can become a teacher online in our School of Education, any level, elementary, high school, middle school, et cetera. And then our College of Business, we have all of the typical, accounting, management, marketing.
Well, that's great. I know that you pay a lot of attention to the workforce needs in the region. So
Yes.
how does that influence the programs that you offer?
Sure. We want all of our degree programs to be relevant so that when people graduate with a degree from WGU, they're employable. So part of the job of those of us who live and work locally is to be connected to, community leaders and big employers so that we know what are the in-demand careers. And that way we're often changing our degree offerings, mostly adding, right? We're adding degree programs that make sense. Like recently we launched, everybody's probably heard about supply chain. If you haven't, if you or your parents had to wait a long time to get a car that they bought, that's because we've had a supply chain problem in this country ever since the pandemic. And those are the people who get the parts to make the things that we want to buy. Well, we know that there is a great demand for folks to work in supply chain. So we launched a degree program, a bachelor's degree program in supply chain in our College of Business this last year. And it's been quite popular. So that's just an example of how we take the pulse of the environment that we're in and find out what's needed. And then we develop degree programs where we can to offer to meet that need.
How often does that change? Because it sounds like you're watching that all the time. Could you check back maybe in a year and you would see, a lot of different things, or how often does it change?
Possibly. I mean, our degree programs are well-developed, well-researched, and it's not a simple process to stand up a whole new degree program, right? So we're not churning out, 10s, 20s new programs each year, but we'll have some years where, one college might offer three new degree programs suddenly over the course of that year. I think last year our College of Business launched. Sometimes it's redeveloping a degree program, so we're always going to offer marketing, right? But the skills that someone needs to be relevant for a current marketing career is different now than it was 10 years ago. Think about the use of the internet now versus 10 years ago versus 20 years ago. So some of it is redeveloping degree programs too, so that they stay relevant. And then sometimes it's developing a whole new degree program. But I think our College of Business, between redevelopment and new degree programs, had about 4 last year that they launched or relaunched. So that's on the high end. It's more typical to see maybe 1 or 2 new ones in a year.
Okay, well, great. Well, who's your typical student? Who is it that you're striving to serve?
Some of that is changing. It way back in 1997, when WGU was established, the idea was to serve adult learners who had some college and no degree, who needed access to a university. This was started out in the Western states, that's where our name comes from. And if you think about the Western states, they're this, expansive, someone might live, hours away from a physical university. So they, in 1997, the internet was pretty brand new. But they still had the concept of we could do this on the internet. So they launched it with that concept of people needing physical access, right? But people need access. Maybe you might live right next door to a physical campus, but it doesn't work for you because of other restrictions. So anyway, started out serving adult learners with some college and no degree. Our average age student is still in the mid-30s. But what we're seeing, particularly in about the last 5 years, is more and more students who are younger, who are more sort of that traditional age student right out of high school. So truly who we offer is anybody who needs flexibility, access, low cost, high quality, which covers a lot of people.
So you've talked a lot in the last few minutes about this personalized learning, that you're learning at your own pace, that you're taking the pulse of the workforce needs in the region. What else does WGU do that's unique to making a student thrive in your program?
I would be leaving out a hugely important element of WGU if I didn't mention the fact that we have program mentors who offer personalized support to every single student. So while you're online, we always like to say we're high tech and high touch. While you're learning online and you're working independently through the degree programs and your coursework, you have a program mentor who you meet with on a weekly basis, who is an accountability partner, a success coach, who knows the degree programs and has helped a number of students so they can help with tips. It is the thing that our grads are most likely to mention is their mentor and the importance of their mentor. They become just like a partner in the education process. So, sometimes those weekly check-ins will be 5 minutes and sometimes they'll last a half hour, but they, like everything else with WGU, are personalized and that can change in a moment given what the student is dealing with. We also have course mentors who help teach the content. So when you're working through course content as a student at WGU, there is a course mentor who is a PhD educated expert in their field who will help to teach you the content as needed. Now, if you're someone who comes and you're really self-sufficient, you kind of understand it and you can just get everything you need out of the content that's provided online, you don't have to engage with the course mentor. But if you get to a point in that curriculum that you're confused, you need to talk it out with an expert, that course mentor is there, accessible to you. And they also offer some optional small group sort of webinar type things to support and sort of support the learning in that course. So our mentor model is really important and different.
Is there anything else that you wanted to tell us that maybe you didn't get to before?
I think I've covered most of it. I would just want to emphasize that it's an incredibly affordable degree program or university, and also that there's a lot of scholarships available. And one other thing is that we do have a pre-college kind of success coaching option for folks who may not be directly admissible to WGU. It's called WGU Academy. And so through applying to the process, if someone isn't ready for college right away, they would be routed to academy as an option, and completion of that academy program, which is about 6 weeks, guarantees admission to WGU, but is also transferable to other universities. So just a little bit about that, but otherwise I think we've covered it.
Well, Allison, again, thank you so much for talking with me today. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too, Gina. Thanks for the opportunity.